But our emergency medicines that we probably need right now, right then, whenever it's happening, does it need to be behind the locked door? No. Why is that? It's an emergency. Should you be looking for a key in an emergency situation? No. Okay. So, just to let you know, at school, those emergency medicines are not behind the locked door. We have easy access to be able to pull in at any time. Okay. There are other medicines we have behind the locked door. Preferably, where should the medicine be? The emergency medicines be. Why should it preferably be with the student or with the teacher student? Why is that? In case they need it. But think of the kind of things that's been going on in our schools, not our schools, but other schools. You have lockdowns, you have maybe like an active shooter, and it's emergency medicine. I'm under stress, I'm having a seizure, but I can't leave my classroom because there's an active shooter out there, that they're having a seizure, they have emergency medicine. How am I going to get that? So why would you need to have those emergency medicines with those students or with that teacher? Those are your reasons, okay? What if you're outside and you got stung by a bee and the medicine is in there? How soon can we have anaphylaxis? Anaphylactic episode. We're going to go over there. And then what happens if you can't get in because you got the new code on the door and you can't get in? How are you going to get to that emergency medicine? That's why it's preferably to be with a student or where the student is at. Because how are you going to explain that to mama? Well, the door was locked. It's kept with the nurse. How are you going to explain that to them when they're at the hospital and they're not doing good? Or they're somewhere else? Field trips. Oh, we love field trips. Can I get an amen? Oh, kids love it. We got to do it for the kids. Kids probably, some of them has never been out of Lar County, so field trips are awesome. They're hard on us, but it's awesome for them. So who are we here for? We're here for the kids. We're here to get them there. The goal for the nurses this year, as much as they can and every school, what they need to know what field trips are. Not 5 minutes before you go and roll out the door. Because why? There's medicines that we got to get ready to make sure that these kids have what they need. And so we need to know within 5 minutes. What do you need to know on a field trip about medications? There's probably going to be some on there. Who knows? Just know that behind the scenes, the teachers on the bus will know how to handle that. Because if they have daily medicines that they need to take it on that field trip. Now, one thing that we work on behind the scenes, again, we did as nurses, is if they just brought in a bottle of 15 pills, do they just leave the school with 15 pills? No. We talk to parents to give us another empty bottle with all the correct information. We'll put one pill in there. How many's ever lost stuff, lost keys? Okay, how do you lose that? This happens. We don't want a teacher to go on a field trip and lose a whole bottle of 15 pills. Okay, that's only why we only take one pill for what is needed for that trip. And again, I'm just going to go over what they tell me that we have to make sure we cover online transportation. Can students refuse medication? Well, we can refuse anything. But it's not a medication error. What we're going to do, we're going to call a parent and say, hey, Johnny's not going to take his medicine again. And we're going to talk to him about how to handle it. It's not a medication error. So when a student refuses a medication, the school nurse and parent should be notified as soon as possible. Okay, on take home for you all. If it's an emergency situation and the kid looks at you, no, I don't want this, I don't want this, it's probably not an emergency. Okay? Maybe, but we'll see. But that's what I can tell you about that. What is considered medication error? Anytime that the 6 rights of medication administration has been violated. So if you give the wrong medication, the wrong amount, at the wrong time, the wrong way, to the wrong student, or you're not documented, those are all errors. Okay, those are all errors. Because you sure don't want to give Amy Christy's medicine. You don't want to give Christy Amy's medicine, and you sure don't want to give it, it's supposed to be eye drop, you don't want to give it orally. Okay, so you got to make sure you're doing everything If it is, own it, admit it, and fix it by calling your supervising nurse and your principal, okay? How will this affect as a transportation? You're going to be able to, the kids going to have the medicine with them. The dosages don't change. If they do, we're going to talk a little bit about that. The run time, if it's not an emergency, that could be the run time. The run rate, they broke it down, we can go into that. Mailing the document, all of that stuff's going to be taken care of by the administration if you have to give those medications, okay? Adverse reactions, medication errors may result. So that's again, if you give an oral medication, liquid medication in the eye, well, yeah, you're going to have a reaction. It's probably going to burn. Again, we're going to document that. We're going to call and own it, read it, and talk to the parents and just tell them what happened. And again, you have to think of what I'm going to do. Who are we going to call? We're going to call your supervising nurse. We're going to stay in the health room, and again, this is all what the nurse is going to be doing, okay? Documenting, notifying, monitoring the students, letting everybody know. There's also a place called poison control that usually we call. We probably call it.
Anyone's doing PD today, if you would, if you would come up to the library, we're going to have a very quick meeting, and thank you.
Poison control, we know how to contact them, and usually that's between the nurses and the principals as that happens, and we'll just answer the questions as needed. All right, to the nuts and bolts of emergency medication. Before I go back, so if a kid shows up at your bus route, you put them on the bus, and mom gives you a Ziploc bag of medicine, what are you going to do? You're going to take the kid, tell them to call them. Call the school, and then the school and the parent can work that out. If the kid shows up with medicine in a sealed envelope with medicine in it, what are you going to do? You're going to take them, you're going to hold on to that envelope, where are you going to give that envelope to? Who can delegate? Can mama delegate to you, saying, Amy, if she sees flashing lights, she's going to have a seizure, and you need to give her this medicine, and this is how you do it, and all that? No, you can still take the medicine, take the kid, and say, you know what, I'm going to have someone, I've been trained, because when you leave here, you're going to be trained. Our nurse at our school has trained me, and I'm going to give it to them, and if we have more questions, we'll talk to it, and guess what, you might need to call the school too to let them know about anything, okay? Again, it's all about open communication and positive communication with the parents, because we're going to do what? We're going to take care of these kids. All right, how many years ever gave emergency medicine on the bus? Are any of y'all like monitors at school, assistants, or anything like that? Have you ever gave any medicines at school? Okay. All right. So one of the common questions that we get is, how do I know who's got what and all of that? Is that a common question y'all have? Like, who's on my bus and who has what? These students that have emergency medications that we know of on the first day of school, they have what we call a 504 plan, where they have an IEP, or we might call it a health plan added into their IEP. What does that mean? That means a group of people in the school, including the parents and the students, we develop a plan that tells you, that means it talks about that kid individually. We talk about what does that kid have, what does that kid need to take care of what they have, who's going to help take care of that kid, where is this stuff going to be at? We try to figure out all that, where, when, why, how in this meeting, and we develop a plan. Once we get that plan, if we see that they're a special ed, we go and get with Victoria. If we see that they're riding a bus to school, we try to make sure that someone at the bus garage is aware of that kid, and to make sure One of the things that we want to kind of do somewhat different is that at the beginning of the school year, between the nurse and the 504, or the person that's over the IEP, the chairperson, they're going to take that plan, and I think most of them already do this. At bus time, they're going to take that plan, and they're going to take it and say, here's a copy of so-and-so, they're on your bus, they have an A plan, and here's a copy of this plan. He carries it, and if you have any questions, do you know how to answer an A plan? Do you know how to do this? We're going to answer this question, because we know you've already been through this training, okay? It's just more of making sure you know that individual. I know bus routes, bus people, subs, all of that changes a lot. I don't know how to fix that part, but we can make sure that you get a copy of the plan. And the cool thing about emergency medicines, they all pretty much do the same thing and almost administer the same way. And that's what we're getting ready to go over. So at any time you have questions, raise your hand. But this information, this is where you're going to break up into your groups after a while, and you're going to go more on a closer contact with your nurse and talk about the medicines, okay? So what you find out here, think of those questions and bring it forth to your nurse there. And again, when that kid is on the bus and you know that they have an EpiPen in the past, or if they're a diabetic, what's the best way to talk to someone? It's just been open communication. Hey, what do you think your EpiPen? Do you still have your EpiPen? That's the kind of communication that you're going to say. Or you remember that someone says a diabetic, hey, I should let you know. You know, I don't know. You can just open communication is a good thing to have when you deal with kids. And two, they like smiling faces, because you're probably the only smiling face they'll see until they get to school. Alright, so who has ever dealt with a diabetic on their bus? Okay. Alright. So, a little bit about emergency medication. I'll kind of jump the gun there. Unless the school personnel may administer these following medications that we're getting ready to go. So what we're training you on today, those are the two laws, those are the laws on that. So, let's talk about diabetes. I will always say this, if you're going to have a diabetic on your bus, if a diabetic has an emergency episode, it's going to happen when they get on your bus in the morning. I mean, it can happen anytime, but it might happen more likely in the morning time when they get on your bus. Why is that? They just woke up got out of bed, probably haven't checked their blood sugar, they probably haven't ate, or mama said, hey, I'll go ahead and give you your morning insulin. Once you get to school, you just rush in there and eat breakfast. All of those are wrong scenarios, and that's a set scenario that you might run across to in the mornings when you do your morning routes. Okay? So, yeah, if you want an objective number of 70, what is considered low? Yes, less than 70 is low. But what you're going to see, want to know those numbers, you're going to see somebody that is what? Maybe slurred speech, a little disoriented. You're going to have somebody that might be a little combative, a little angry. Have you ever been waiting so long, or who hasn't ate breakfast yet and feeling a little angry right now, a little shaky? Okay, they might feel that way. So, when you feel that way, what do you want to do? You want to go to sleep. Well, how would you fix it if you felt that way? How are you going to fix it? You're going to eat something, okay? A diabetic, when they feel that way, you really want them to eat something. And what are we not supposed to do on the bus? Not supposed to eat. All right, you got a diabetic that's having a low blood sugar, you really would want them to eat, okay? Just want to put that out there. We know they sneak and eat. They're not supposed to. But there's sometimes some rules are meant to be broken, and if it's going to keep somebody from passing out, let's let them eat, okay? Not only do they need to bring out a little whole bag of McDonald's and a drink. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you see them eating gummies or like sugar, what is that sugar going to do with the low blood sugar? It's going to make it high. You have low, you give them sugar, you have low sugar, give them sugar, it's going to make it go up. If they have a low blood sugar and they don't eat, it keeps them going down. What are you risk for? What are you at risk for? They can have a seizure, they can pass out, or what if they can't eat? How are you going to fix that? How are you going to fix those low blood sugars if they're passed out, having a seizure, or they can't eat? You've got emergency medicines to take care of that, because they're not going to be eating no gummies, okay? So sometimes rules are meant to be broken about not eating on the bus, and those are that one time I would tell you it's meant to be broken. So there's 2 emergency medicines out there for to take care of the low blood sugar. Here are some common causes, and I kind of talked about some of it, about giving you scenarios. Too much insulin, meaning they've got their insulin before they've ate, and they waited too long. Too little food, maybe they're not eating enough food. You give them their insulin and it's too long for them to, they've waited a long time to have a snack or a meal. Field days when they're out there running and this crazy weather that we're having, it's going to drop it. Maybe they're getting sick, or maybe they're under the influence of using alcohol, which is a common concern for adolescents. It can be mild, moderate, or severe. These kids that have type 1 diabetes, we even have some teachers that has that. We have health plans, which is what we call a 504 in our school district, or it's attached to their IEP. And again, what does this plan consist of? Who's the kid? What do they have? Where do they have all their stuff at? And when do we use this stuff? What do you need to know? Does this diabetic ride bus? This is diabetic if they do. Then what emergency medicines do they have? They're going to have their glucagon, or they're going to have their Riskini, which is a nasal spray. They're also going to have needles. What's the needles for? To check their blood sugar, or they need their insulin. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. If you have a diabetic on your bus, hopefully you'll figure out who that kid is. Once you find out who that kid is and you know where they sit at, use a little extra caution when you clean and swap out your bus. Okay, it happens maybe once every 2 years that a bus driver might get kind of stuck because their lancet has fallen out of their pocket or whatever. So use a little extra caution. Again, know your kids, know kind of where they sit at, so forth. But be cautious when you swap and clean the area where a diabetic might sit, because that is a possibility. And if it is, we've got that taken care of. They're going to call me and we'll get that taken care of. And no one gets in trouble or anything. We'll just make sure you're taken care of. But anyways, let's get back to on the train here. So we know what low blood sugar is, right? If it's low and they talk to you, what do you want to do? Get some food. The best food is sugar. Okay? We don't want them to have, bread or anything that's later. We want them to have food. We want them to have gummies. We want them to have, candy. Okay? If it's too low, then what are we going to give them? Glucagon or a nasal spray? What's the bottom of this? Glucagon and the Riskini, both of them, all it is a hormone. And that hormone, when it's given to you, is going to stimulate your pancreas to make, pretty much make you give you some sugar. I guess that's the best way to say it. It's going to bring your sugar up. It's going to bring that blood glucose up. With glucagon, it is an injection. Okay. I will say this, just as leaving UK Endo yesterday. Personally, I left there. I just, of course, I'm a school nurse. I asked them questions. This is becoming not prescribed. Okay, it's out there. Still going to show you how to administer it. But right now, what's being prescribed is a nasal spray. Can I get an amen on that one? That's pretty awesome. Because what they're doing with emergency medicines, they're making it what? More simple. They're making it safe for you, safe for them, safe for everybody. Everybody's on the same page. So, glucagon. When you see a red box, usually it's a red or orange box, I always think of use caution because there's probably a needle in it. It's going to have the child's name on it. You're going to know where it's located. You've got that child that's laying down, that's having, let's say they're having a seizure, or if they're just passed out and they're a diabetic. What's the first thing you're going to do as a bus driver? First, you've acknowledged, right? You've acknowledged that there's an issue. Who are you going to call? Bus coverage. What are you going to do with your bus? Get it to a safe position, okay? If you ain't safe, nobody's safe, and then everybody's unsafe, okay? So get that bus to a safe position. Once you've done that, what are you going to do from there? You're going to go to that person that you know is not in a good form right now. It's a diabetic that's passed out, it's having a seizure, okay? If they're passed out, having a seizure, you're going to try to get them laying in the most comfortable position. You're on a bus. It's going to be pretty hard to get them in a comfortable position, right? Sideline position is the best position for anyone that's not feeling well. Why is that? In case they vomit, you want to maintain the airway. So know that for any of these situations, if someone is passed out, what position? Sideline. You've already activated help because you've acknowledged, you've got the bus to a safe position, you've called for help. You're going to the student, you get your glucagon out, because it's either going to be in their backpack, it's going to be somewhere it's on them, okay? Most of us kids carry a backpack because it's, you're going to open up the case. When you open up the case, it's got two things in it. It's going to have a vial of glucagon, and it's going to have a syringe of saline. So what are we going to do with that syringe of saline or sterile water? We're going to take those caps off, and we're going to put that sterile saline into that vial that has powder in it, okay? Because that powder's got to become what form? A liquid. That liquid is going to be, you're going to swirl it, draw it up. Once you draw it up, where are you going to put this needle? You can do it back of the arm. You can do it at the top of their buttocks. You can even do it at their abs area if you have to. But the best place is the back of the arm or right in this area. Okay? Whatever is easy for you. Nothing's easy on the bus because you have a small area. But again, you take the sterile water, put it into the powder, keep the needle in that vial until you're ready. So I'm going to put this right here. My kid is laying on their side. I've got someone, I said, hey, you better, watch for the kids. You're going to talk, you're going to be nervous. You're going to take the cap off the vial, cap off the syringe. Where's the syringe going to go? You're going to put that needle right into the vial. You're going to slowly, squirt that clear into the vial. Leave that needle in. Why is that? So you don't break the needle, you don't stick yourself or whatever, okay? All right, you turn it upside down. You're going to swirl. What's the next thing you'll do? Slowly draw it up. Then you're going to take the vial off, and then you're going to put the needle all the way into their skin. Then you're going to slowly squirt the next needle. What are you going to do with this? You're going to lay it in the box. You're going to put it in that box. You don't care about that cap because guess what? You're not going to recap nothing. Okay? That's why glucagon comes in a hard case because it's your sharp box. Okay? That's why you leave the needle in the vial until you're ready to draw the medicine, so you don't stick yourself with that needle. Okay? If you stick yourself with that needle, then you're kind of had lab there. Okay? Then you administer it, put the needle where? Back in this box. Who are you going to give this to? You're going to give it to 911. You're just gonna stay with them, answer, if 911 asks any questions over the radio, you wanna answer the questions, you're gonna try to keep them on their side, because if you keep them on the side and they throw up, it's gonna roll out of their body, they're not going to, lose their airway that way. How long does it usually take for the glucagon to actually start working? Usually 5 or 10 minutes, which can seem like an eternity, but it's taking time for it to get into the system, for it to increase their blood sugar. Once the blood sugar, they're probably going to start coming to, they might be a little combative, because think about when you have a blood sugar from your pancreas. They're probably going to be like that, and then they're going to get back to the normal state. They're going to be confused. They can abuse the bathroom on themselves or whatever. You just give them proper dignity until 911 gets there, okay? Once 911 gets there, you're going to give that medicine to who? To them, that's in the box. You say, I just gave that to Amy at 2:10, and you roll with it. You do whatever they tell you. You do what the best watch tells you. There's another one, and I don't have a trainer for that, but you'll get checked off, and it's in a cylinder, and you'll open up the cylinder, you'll take out the device, and you're going to put it into their nose, and you squirt. You just push the little plunger, and that's it. Okay? That's much easier. Most of your kids this year will have that, because if they go to UK Endo, that's where they're getting it. Most of the insurances are paying for it. Now, if for some reason our insurance doesn't pay for it, they have to do the glucagon, we can't help it. Or we have to deal with the injection, okay? Because we can only deal, we know how insurance is, right? Okay, so you're